Hi, welcome to You Didn't Get the Memo. I'm your host, Gloria Bailey Ray, and I'm excited that you guys decided to join me today. Unfortunately, my guest, and I pray that all is well, has not been able to join me, and that's okay. Sometimes some of life's best laid plans never go the way you want them to. So, what I would like to do is to allow you guys, let's really make it interactive because there are a lot of things that I think maybe some of you are not aware that I'm working on and that I do. And so I'm going to allow you to be able to talk with me and ask me questions. So, Carolyn, thank you so much for always being such a huge supporter. But before we get started, let me just say this that You Didn't Get the Memo really and truly is about highlighting those people, those individuals, those businesses, those entrepreneurs, those nonprofits, people who otherwise folks may have heard of them, but they may not know of them. And since You Didn't Get the Memo is both nationally and international, I think that it's important that we be able to highlight these individuals. We air live on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. And so I always hope that there is something, and I believe that there is something that everyone that's tuned in will be able to take away, even if it's one little bitty nugget. It is something to take away. So, again, I'm Gloria Bailey Ray. I'm your host and the producer of the You Didn't Get the Memo show. We are about providing you with information that's relevant, fact based, and mainstream. So, our show today is actually being brought to you by Bay Area real estate specialist Georgia Richardson and Dr. Angela Cleo Smith of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, who are both supporters and they are sponsors. So let's just jump right in. And as questions come up, you guys feel free to make your comments, put them in the comment section, and see if we can't get them out there or bring you on camera live. So I'll just start with the fact that uh, one of the things that I do, in addition to producing and hosting this show, which I have been doing now, you guys, for about 8 years, I also host a dope podcast show called Real Talk with Lady G. It's every Thursday from 6 to 6:30 p.m. And those of you who have been on the podcast can attest to it is real talk. It's inspirational, it's motivational, it's educational, and in many ways it's so helpful because there are so many people out there that are hurting, that are going through things, that are dealing with changes, whether in their personal life, in their work life, in with their children's life. There's always something that's going on, and it's always going to be something that's going on. But if you tune in for 30 minutes, I can assure you, you will leave motivated and pumped up to do things and to make some changes, right? So, in addition to that, and oh, by the way, that's on Spreaker. That's Spreaker. I'll put that in the banner section, Spreaker.com. And you can find me, Lady G. And yeah, I think some of you may say, well, you got several titles. That's true. Originally started off, I think, for a lot of young folks, I always say, you got to put a handle on my name. You just, at my age, you just don't get to call me Gloria. So it started out with some people calling me Mama G, and from there, Lady G. And Lady G has always stuck, but there seems to be a lot of Lady G's around. But that's one of the titles. And also, I am the authentic coach. So if you follow me and watch any of the information that I have, I think there's my all of my link so that you can find me on Instagram. I am the authentic_coach. So you can find me there. In addition to that, uh, I also am a certified professional life coach. Now, there are a lot of people out there that saying they're coaches and they do all of these things. But listen, I know I am an excellent coach. And I have clients that will attest to that. And it's because for me, it's not about the money. Yeah, getting paid is good, but I want people to walk away and say, I got more than I ever bargained for, more than I even thought I would have. And that would be to be able to walk away with something concrete. And I think, given my experience, my maturity, my work experience in my professional life, but also the fact that I'm able to do, and I go above and beyond in terms of research for you and helping you. But I always say this: the money is fine, but you know what? You got to do the work, and holding you accountable to be able to do the work. So if you are in need of a personal life coach, you will want to reach out to me, and you will want to sit down and talk with me. And that's if you're really and truly serious about making some changes in your life. But again, I'm a certified professional life coach, and that's one of the many hats that I wear. um, in addition to that, maybe some of you don't know, you know what? I'm a mom, I'm a grandmother, and I have some awesome grandkids. And I just don't say that, but they really and truly are. They're really just great kids. And I am just so proud of all of them and everything that they do. So, let's just talk about some real things. So, recap though, before I move on, I produce and host You Didn't Get the Memo. I produce and host Real Talk with Lady G, which is my podcast every Thursday. And I also um, am a certified professional life coach. That's right. And did you guys know I'm an author? Yes, I'm an author. I wrote the book, You Didn't Get the Memo, Navigating Corporate America, which is where the title of the show comes from, because there are so many of us have lived our lives, and you didn't get the memo. If you could go back and do a redo, you say, oh, I got that memo, now let me redo this. And it doesn't happen like that, unfortunately. So the real deal is, I am an author. I am also working on this second edition of the You Didn't Get the Memo book. And this time, it's really and truly, it's chock full of references and things that you really need to know. And I see this as a bestseller. I've already claimed it. No question about it. At the same time, I'm working on another book, a second book, and that will be revealed very, very soon. But it's about relationships. And I know you guys are going to love it, because there's so much that's in there that everybody can relate to, whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you're in between relationships, whatever. I got something for all of you. And you're probably saying, well, how do you do all of that? Well, you know what? I only have one life, and it's what we choose to do with that life. I hear people my age complain, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, no. Listen, you all have gifts. We all have gifts. And it's what we choose to do with those gifts that will make a difference. There's nothing or nobody that's out there perfect. And quit trying to pattern yourself after what somebody else may have said you should do, or how you should be, any of that. Look, you be your true authentic self. And that's real. I mean, it's about keeping it real. And that right there is really real. You have to decide that you're going to do what you need to do for you, not what anybody else wants. And until I breathe my last breath, I can really and truly look at it and say, you know what? I did everything I could possibly do to live my life the best that I could. No regrets. The regrets only come when you didn't do what you know you were supposed to do. Quit looking at other people. Quit worrying about what other folks do. Who cares? It don't matter. It really and truly does not matter, because this about you. And life, I think society has made us think in many cases that it's not okay to do you. It really and truly is not okay for you to do you. And I'm going to beg to differ. It is okay for you to do you and to be okay with it. We're taught that, oh, it's selfish when you focus on yourself. But I'm telling you, how you going to care for and take care of other folks when you can't even take care of yourself? That is real. That's the real deal. And that's what we need to come together and recognize and realize. So stop waiting around for, for the ball to drop and for you to have some huge epiphany. You have a passion, go ahead, follow the passion, live it, live your life, do what you know you need to do. But whatever you do it to the best of your abilities. We can't wait around for somebody else. While you sitting there waiting on somebody else to do something for you or to make a move, I'm here to tell you that it ain't gonna happen. It's not going to happen. Some of you right now are sitting back and you're wondering, and I just love it. The people who will sit back and look at what you're doing and then criticize. You know what? Throw what I call little shit shots. They throw stuff out or they'll say little stuff. Don't worry about that, you guys. Why worry about somebody or something that someone has said when they don't pay no bills in your house? They don't control what you do. Don't worry about it. At the end of the day, you know what? It don't make no difference. That's the thing. So shout out, hey Al, glad that you could tune in. Again, for those of you who are just tuning in, I'm not quite certain what happened with my guest. First time in 8 years I've ever had a guest that did not show. And again, I can only hope and pray that everything is okay. And I just decided to just wing it. Let's wing it. This is what it is. You have the opportunity to ask me questions about things that I do. I've already talked about the fact that I'm a life coach. I already told you that I produce and host a podcast called Real Talk with Lady G. I'm also the host and producer of You Didn't Get the Memo, and I am an author. I am a speaker. And so, y'all, it's real. And I'm living life. I'm doing me. And that's the thing. No regrets, nothing to be ashamed about, nothing to be embarrassed about. But as I said, if you keep waiting for other people to do things for you, it's never going to get done. And that's the thing that I want to get across. We spend so much time. Look back over your life, all the times you worried about what folks said about you. They talked about Jesus Christ, didn't they? Yeah, they did. And to my knowledge, nobody else has walked on this earth that's perfect. So the thing is, we are allowed and we're going to make mistakes. You know what? It happens. So that's the thing. Let it happen and go with the flow. Be okay with it. We spend time worrying about 90% of people's problems. It has to do with stress. They're so stressed. They stressed about money. They stressed about boyfriends. They're stressed about husbands. They're stressed about let it go. And I'm here to tell you, I'm a living witness. When you let it go, you know what? You're not mad. You're not angry. You're not upset. You just sit with that and you're going to be okay. But then I also want to add in, y'all, I'm coming at you from a spiritual vein because a lot of times people forget what the word really and truly says. See, if you trust and believe that everything is going to be all right, then you already know who has you. You know who you belong to. We spend time worrying about stuff. You can go to church all day, every day, be at every prayer meeting. Look, people who are quoting the Bible scripture, and the thing is, you look around and they still hurt. So I just want to say to y'all, quit worrying. That's right, Miss Curl. Not bitter. It's not for us to be bitter. It's not for us to be angry. It's not for us to worry about it. Y'all let it go. And so that's why I said, you know what? I go with the flow. I wish there's so many times in my life I look back and I wish that I had learned all of this early on, but it doesn't matter. I remember when I first started doing You Didn't Get the Memo, and I was like, oh gosh, there's only one person online. There's only one person. It didn't matter. You know why? Because I had to ask myself, who am I doing this for? It was brought to me. God put that in my spirit. If you guys know anything about my background and my degrees, I ain't had nothing to do with this. That's why I'm here to tell you, you can do anything that you want. But this morning I woke up and I want to tell y'all, I just started claiming, thanking God for favor. Thank you, Lord. I thank you for favor. I thank you for favor over my finances. I thank you for favor over my health. I thank you for favor over my family. I thank you for favor. See, and when you start praying for other people, one of the things that happens is you start to just get full on the inside because you realize, you know what? God is only not only a good God, but He is an awesome God. He's a forgiving God. Because see, the person who quit talking to you, the person who lied on you, the person who hating on you, the person who wants to be you, you need to understand. You got to pray for them. That's the thing. You pray for them. You don't worry about what people do or say. It took me a long time to get to that. Yes, therapy sessions, because I do think therapy is therapeutic. But at the same time, I had to just stop and say, whoa, wait a minute, hold up, hold up. What am I stressing about? If God says He got me, and I really say I embody and believe the word, then guess what? And that's the thing. Regardless, see, we forget. You ever notice when a storm happens? I'm just talking about, a storm, whether it's a thunderstorm, whether it's, rainstorm, whatever it is, right? One of the things that ends up happening is afterwards, many times you see a rainbow or the air feels so fresh. That's how we need to be when we let it go and give it to God. We need to stop tripping about what other folks have done or not done or support or don't support. It don't matter. Y'all know it don't matter. And that's why I said, okay, let's just turn this into, you know, a dialogue between me and you because I love all of you. And that's the thing. And I'm going to start with there are some comments, and so let's start with with this comment. I love this. You can make things happen or watch something happen for someone else. Who holla? That's real, and that's the truth. You guys, when you're sitting there hoping that this other person fails, that's like drinking poison and hoping that the other person is going to die. Stop it. Stop it. That's the thing. I see you, Georgia. Thank you for being here. Yes, practice self love. Thank you. I finished taxes this morning and I am so happy to have that done. But thank you for being here. And you know what, Al? I know, was it a difficult process for me to get started with the podcast? Absolutely not. One of the things that I decided, well, first, let me just tell you this, what happened to me. My older sister, growing up, Miss Lawson, you know this, growing up in the South, we were raised in a really, really Christian Southern family. My dad was an organist and a pianist. My mom was a soloist. And of course, some of y'all don't even have any idea what BTU is, but Baptist Training Union. And we were in church all the time. And I have a younger brother. And one of the things that would happen, my grandmother, or my mom's maternal mom, would say, he gonna be a preacher. He gonna be a preacher. Well, just some days I would just be so full. I didn't know what was going on. And I would say, what in the world? And I just said, you know what? Let me find out about podcasts. And I tell you, those of you who've been on, look, I know, Miss Carolyn, we be shouting up in here because the thing is, I don't know a lot of times what I'm going to even talk about, but the Holy Spirit just gives it to me. And so, I just bring it to you and give it to you that way. So in answer to your question, was it difficult, Al? No, it wasn't difficult to start a podcast. It was very simple. I do Spreaker because I find it easy. It's very, very easy. And at one point, I know you guys were talking about being able to call in, but it just didn't work. And not only that, with Blog Talk, it just got cumbersome. So I wanted to go back to Spreaker, and that's where I'm at on Spreaker.com every Thursday, 6 to 6:30, and we have a great time. The chat room is always live and open, and you can comment and go there. And so that's the thing. And so in terms of was it difficult? No. And sometimes you say, well, what am I going to talk about? I say this to all of you. Everybody has a story. Everybody. I don't care who you are. You all got a story. And what you don't realize is that a lot of people are really and truly helped by you sharing your story. All right. People who don't know what you're going through and what you have gone through. I remember someone commented about my weight. And just for a second, the split second, because see, there's still the old me that's dealing with the new me. And I thought, wow, but this person didn't know that I was taking drugs for my autoimmune. And I thought, wow, that's just bold, right? And here's the thing, as we get older, we put on a few pounds, but I will tell all of y'all I'm 15 pounds lighter over the last 3 weeks. Yes. And you say, what are you doing? I'm doing Optavia. It may work for some, may not work for others, but I want to give a shout out to my coach, Denise Brashears, and also to Catrice Rain for, watching her and watching process, because I had started it several years ago, didn't go through the process. And so this is the one thing that has helped me to keep, my weight at bay, and it's coming down. So, you know what? Al, answer your question, not difficult. You just have to start. And let me just say, I know that you got a lot. I can see you and some of your guys, y'all have a lot to talk about. So that's the thing. Miss Carolyn, I hear you. Not bitter. Absolutely. You know what? Bitterness, what is it all for? Look, I used to have women tell me when I walk into a room, I look like I own the room. And I would get offended. And you know what? I say, I do own the room. I'm all of that. And if that's what you think, then okay. And we've got to be okay with that. See, people know those snippets out there to throw you. And I've had people throw me under the bus, roll over me, back the bus up, and roll over me again. And still I rise. I stand. That's the thing. And that's what we need to understand. And I always love it where you come from, Carolyn, but you're talking about mustard seed faith. And that's all it is. And I don't know how many of you have seen, if any of you been to any of my seminars, I give out a mustard seed in a uh, little plastic jar. And I want people to look at, if this is all God is asking you for is mustard seed faith, come on. I'm here to tell you, somebody would ask so little of you and yes, do so much for you. How can you not? How can you not say, okay, you know what? I know who's on my side. And that's the thing. And then it's like with anything, a lot of times we start doing things and we get excited. And because we're not seeing the results right away. Oh my gosh, what is happening? I can't believe this. This is, you know what? It is nothing other than for you to wait. And the scripture says to wait. Wait on the Lord. In due time, you need to understand that. And so that's the thing that we all have to understand. And so I love it. I love the fact that I have been raised, I have been given something concrete, and that is the faith to be able to hold on, to believe, to know. And not all of us practice all the same thing, but I do know this, there's only one God. I don't care how many religions you have, but one God. And again, I say this in my opinion, y'all, in my opinion, but knowing who you are. And that's the first and foremost thing. So many people are walking around right now wounded. Yes, walking wounded. And you don't even know who you are because you've been living your life. You've been living this fakeness for so long. Y'all, you know what? You ever notice all the women and men sometimes too, who get the facelifts, the boob lift, all of this. And after a while, it's still, there's something about age and gravity. After a while, you may have a body that looks like what they said, 36, 24, 36, but your face. See, and so rather than growing old gracefully, we've forgotten about that. See, friends will come and go, and that word and that term is used so very loosely. But at the same time, you know who's in your corner and who's not. I opened the show, Georgia. You know what? Thank you. Sponsor, supporter, Victor Fields. Victor Fields, everybody should be blowing this brother up. He is the baddest jazz vocalist this side of the Mississippi and the UK. Y'all not hearing me. But again, he knows who he is and he knows what he is about. And if you haven't checked him out, just Google Victor Fields. Buy his music, support him. That's why I do this show, to show and support and highlight other people, y'all. It ain't about me. See, I already have what God has promised me. I know that. I believe that. So I don't have to worry about anybody else. But that's the thing. I'm going to tell you. Let me just tell you, DACPA, San Antonio, holla. Girl, been there. Ride or die. Dude, I mean, just so supportive. And that's the thing. Miss Carolyn, no matter, look, and I'm going to tell you the thing I respect about this sister is because, look, both her and San Antonio, you're talking about when they really believe in the old school. If you're 15 minutes early, you on time. And that's what they do. And so I just want to say to all of you guys, look, quit holding on to the gifts, quit burying them, quit worrying about who gonna like you or who not gonna like you. I don't know if any of you guys have seen some of these videos on TikTok and Facebook and I be saying, okay, but guess what? They stepped out on faith. They did it. What you waiting on? And that's the thing. And that's my thing. You know what? I'm doing it. Y'all, are any of you guys aware that I didn't share this with you? That I have a commercial that's running right now on all the Comcast networks. That's TV1, that's OWN Network, that's VH1, all the major networks. So if you're right here in the Bay Area, you should see if you turn it on. But I don't need to highlight that because people who will see it will say, hey, I saw your commercial. You didn't get the memo. That's dope. Look, what's for me is for me. I don't need to worry about anything else. That's what I want you guys to understand. Some of you have been toiling and dealing with the situation for a long time. Y'all, sometimes you got to let it go. And I'm not saying just up. So you got to work your plan and plan your work. Okay. But when you're done, you're just done. Be okay with it. Let that sit with you. Quit listening to somebody telling you, "Ooh, girl, you don't want to leave." It's hard out there picking a man. It's hard out there finding a good woman. Then you know what? Oh, ye a little faith. Where you at? Where's your faith? Where's your belief? I am telling you that God is walking right there with you. And that's what I know is happening for me. Y'all need to know this. My background has nothing to do with any of this. Nothing. And yet, what I found, especially my nursing and my master's in public administration, it helps me to be an excellent life coach. But listen, I got up, somebody saw something in me and said, "You would be great at this." I took classes. I still take classes. I learned how to operate lights and microphones and cameras and all those things. And at times I need a refresher. And I still keep learning, y'all. So when I hear people say, "Oh my gosh, how did you learn all these things?" You know what? You just got to get up and you got to make one step. Because I know every time I made one step, God has helped me to make two more. He has given me favor. He has allowed me to be a blessing to other people. And by the way, when you're blessing other folks, you ain't got to post it on Facebook. You don't have to tell other people what you've done for them. If they want to tell other people, be okay with that. But you don't need to be able to do that. And that's the difference, you guys. That is the difference. And so just knowing and sitting with who you are at all times, that's important. Now, let me tell you something else. I had a situation that happened to me not too long ago. One of the things that I try to do is always book my shows out at least 4 to 6, 8 weeks in advance. And sometimes, you know, I'm human. I may have sent an email out to, a person, two different people for the same date. But one of the things that happened was when I realized the person said, "I can do it right now," and the other person was still praying about it. I immediately reached out and just asked, would it be okay if you change that? I was not prepared for the response that I got. I was hurt. I shed a couple of tears, but I realized, okay, God, thank you. Because sometimes God will show up and show you who people really are too. You got to be prepared for that. I'm not knocking this individual. They could have had a bad day. But what I am saying to you guys, and even to myself, first of all, learn to wait. Be patient before you respond. I know I have a tendency, I'm doing 20 different things. Like I'm looking at two monitors, lights, I mean, all these things. But learn to wait and be patient. There's nothing that says that you got to respond like right away. And it's a habit. I'm telling you, it's a habit that I learned years in corporate America because the expectation was you need to respond right away. But I tell you, when you take the time and before you hit that send button, and everybody's into texting now, and that is the absolute worst thing because people will text, and what's in the text is not really the true meaning of the text, right? And so you can't evoke emotions and understand what's going on. But at the same time, I'm going to tell you, for someone who I highly respected, and I still respect, to not even pick up the phone and say, "Can we talk about this?" Simple explanation. So I want to say to you guys, let's not be so quick to judge. Sometimes we vent to people, not venting for them to go back and say or twist something you said to another person. In fact, I found myself musing on that a while back. What would a person benefit from running and saying to someone something that you have said in confidence to them? And yet, I find it really easy that when people are intimidated by you, and remember this, see other people, the devil even sees, they can see there's something about your aura, there's something about you that other people are fearful of. And you aren't aware of that. I know I wasn't. And yet, to get the wrath of individuals who don't even know the whole story or even know half of the story, we have to be careful and mindful of how we treat and deal with people. I think that's why I love that song, You Don't Know My Story. That's real. That's interesting. And so, the way a person dresses, y'all, compliment them and move on. Don't talk about the fact that, oh, that's an expensive suit. Oh, oh, you got it like that. You don't know their story. You don't know how hard they work to get what they have. You don't even know if they're one paycheck away from poverty and they faking it. Either way, learn to bless them. I guess that's the message I want to get across, is the blessing. Bless people. Be happy for them. That's it. When I see somebody got something that I really like to have or have desired to have, I say, okay, God, I know mine's coming. It's coming. It is. And it's only when you speak and you believe it, right? And so know that what you are, whose you are, it's all good. It's all good. I have a friend who talks a lot about emotional intelligence. Y'all, that's been around for years. He's taken it to another level. But emotional intelligence, y'all, that's something that we all need to employ in our lives. It's so critical. And you have to understand what that means. Because sometimes you can meet a person and something that you could say or make or break them. It's real. Church folks going to church and telling folks, how they need to dress. I just think back when I was a much younger woman and lived here, and a woman telling me I couldn't wear 3/4 length sleeves in church and I need to have a hat on. Really? Really? But you ran a brothel. Okay. I mean, we need to be careful. And that turned me off from going to that church. Why? What do they have to do? See, we got to bring people in and we have to understand, where a person may be at. But again, that comes down to not judging. Don't judge them. You don't know. That's the thing. So guess what? I see somebody, God bless you. If the dress is beautiful, it's a beautiful dress. I've seen women who are absolutely gorgeous and they wear things that are so outlandish, so revealing. Ain't no need for that. You beautiful. But that tells me a lot about you. But that doesn't mean that I get to turn them off. Who am I? You know what? And Jesus could forgive a woman at the well, and she slept with practically every man in town, married and unmarried. I mean, what does that tell you? Who are we? And that's the thing. And so I'm just saying to you, look, y'all, I'm just a simple Gloria Bailey Ray. I'm Lady G. I'm Mama G. I'm the authentic coach, but I'm real. And that's the thing. And I think that that's the thing that sets me apart from other people, is real. Today I had someone send me this video telling me, and some of you probably seen it, how awesome I am. It's all these different people, Michelle Obama, you've got oh gosh, I'm blanking on her name. Just a lot of different notable actresses, and they're saying how you're just awesome. You're all these things. And at the time, I needed that, and I was so grateful that this person thought enough of me, little old me, to send that to me. That's the thing. And I just say to any of you out there who really don't know my heart and don't know my spirit, you don't know me. And I ask you to pray about it. I'm not here to harm you or to hurt you. I know who I am. I don't always get it right. I'm human. But the one thing I do know is that I love from a place that's deep. I hurt. I cry. But guess what? I get back up every day. Every day I'm able to open my eyes. And you guys have no idea. Most days are really hard. Every time I show someone a picture of what I look like when I'm having an outbreak, they all say the same thing. Oh my God, that's horrible. Oh, but I still keep moving, y'all. I just want y'all to keep moving. Keep doing you. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Keep stretching yourself. And more importantly, forgive yourselves. Forgive yourselves. You know, sometimes we stick with something and we know it's not the best. But sometimes, just sometimes, if you just trust the process and believe enough in yourself, you're going to be okay. And that's why for me, all of you guys, y'all are all over. I see you and thank you guys for being here. I'm so blessed. I'm so honored. And I thank each and every single one of you because you know what? Each of you have impacted my life. I'm energized whenever I talk to any of you. Why? Because you know what? You make me smile. You make me happy. And that's what I want to be is happy. I want to be happy. And for each one of you, I tell you, it's real. It's real. One of my really good friends, Miss Wanda, I participated in a workshop she did. And one of the things that came up was, are you really living your authentic self? How are you showing up? And I had already started, I guess, the end of 2021, signing anything I say in authentically, because that's how I want to show up as me, not anybody else, me, authentically me. And that resonated with me. And I said, yeah, that's important. I don't need to change for anybody. And when I say that, y'all need to understand. I'm talking about not putting on a show, not putting on airs. You come to my house, I'm going to welcome you in with open arms. I'm a Southern woman. Y'all may have seen my video where I cooked collard greens today out my garden. But it's something therapeutic about me being able to cook for you, to serve you. That's real. That's how I am. I bake from scratch. Uh, right now, I told you I'm doing Optavia, so y'all know I can have all the different kind of greens I want. But I cook. Hell, you know I cook. I throw down. And so that's the thing. And it's about being true to who you are. And that's what's important, y'all. Who are you? Have you looked in the mirror lately and asked yourself that? Who are you? Have you asked yourself, who can I lift up today? Who can I support? What can I do? We spend too much time thinking about and being so self absorbed that we forget other people are hurting. We forget that people need other people. I need all of you. That's what's important. And so I just really and truly hope that you guys feel in the depth of your soul how much I care about each of you, how important you are to me. And let me just tell you, y'all, I don't have to look like what I'm going through. And I'm going through a lot right now, but I'm blessed. And I know I'm going to come out on the other side, the better side. And that's what keeps me going. That's what's important to me, y'all. So I need your prayers, your honest prayers. You don't need to know what you need to pray for. If you are praying, and as I said, you heard me say, I'm praying for people. People's names were just rolling off of my tongue. That's what we do. That's what I'm asking you to do. Be your authentic self. Show up and be okay with who you are. Be okay with the decisions that you've made. I always end my show with saying the quality of your life is determined by the decisions that you make. So if you want to change your life, you have to change some of your decisions. Pray on it, think about it, and then when you're led, make the move. Sometimes people stay in situations. There's no love, there's no um, intimacy, there's no um, camaraderie. And we wonder why, oh, this girlfriend fell off of that girlfriend. You know what? You served your purpose. That's what people need to understand. And it's okay. You just move on. That's the thing. You move on. And you know and believe with all your heart that it's going to be better. You know, that's the thing. It's going to get better. And so, you guys, all that are tuned in and are listening, listen. I want you to know that my prayer today is that you all will be abundantly blessed beyond your wildest dreams. Thank you, Georgia, for being on. Know that when praises go up, blessings come down. That's all I can tell you. Al, thank you for the love. One for the book. This has turned out to be one of my best and authentic shows ever. And I have not done anything like this, but I think it's important. So I'll end this. I didn't think that I would be able to talk this long just by myself, but I will tell you this. For those of you who know someone, or if you yourself is really in need of a professional life coach, someone that will take you from where you are to whole nother levels, then I want you to get in touch with me. Please do. I said, here are my links. This is how you can find me. You can message me, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on LinkedIn, YouTube. If you really want to find me, you'll be able to find me. That's the thing. And so I want to thank each of you for you dropping in, spending time with me today, and allowing me to be able to talk to you and just share where I'm coming from. I ask again for your honest prayers, for your thoughts, for your love. And this time next week, we will have on the show, I have to look up my calendar, uh, we are going to have Miss Felicia Freeman, and she is a recruiter. So I think that there are some things that we will be able to glean and to share with each of you. And I just bid you peace, love, happiness, and thank you guys so very much for tuning in to this episode. It'll go down in history, I'm certain, of You Didn't Get the Memo with me, your host, Gloria Bailey Ray. I thank you all. God bless you. Be well. And remember, the quality of your life really and truly is determined by the decisions that you make. God bless.